Hey, babe. Don't forget we gotta get ready in 2 hours for that event, okay?
I got so much to do. How am I ever gonna get this done?
Jay, so do we need to cancel? What are you wearing? It's game night.
Yeah, usually if I get up before you and you're not up yet, I know you're coming because I hear the dog tick, 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 coming in the kitchen, and then you follow soon after. Hey, baby. She misses her brother. Where's Capone? Daisy. Where's Capone? Oh, look at that face. Dude, I have a close up right there. What is that?
Something that tastes bad, but I'm putting it in here for this. This is my pre-morning. You guys drink coffee, I have cognition.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel like, do you need your coffee? Are you a person
No.
that needs coffee in the morning?
No, I think I just do it because I like the taste of it.
Yeah, because you use the creamer, right?
Yeah.
Creamer that you're not supposed to use.
It's full of chemicals. People.
What isn't?
It's full of chemicals. People say.
I know, but what isn't right now?
Oh, I know. They say that about Pam. They say that about
We'll
creamer.
comment on the Pam, huh? All the experts.
Yeah.
Take like
Well, if you put some on the carpet, you're gonna be in big trouble.
half a scoop of this. This is gonna mask the flavor a little bit.
Someone, I was just looking at the comment on Derek's video that we just posted right now, and someone was like, "Hey, are you gonna have a new jaywalking before August?" And I said, I responded,
Just put one, didn't we?
I know, but they love jaywalking, so we're about to go film it now. So I like how people request stuff. They hit me up like, "Can you do this?"
I don't.
Well, I'm
I
doing
got a
good.
pretty cool interview with Ed Connors this week.
Tell people where that is.
It's going to be on John Hanson's podcast.
On YouTube. Cool.
Yeah.
And tell who else is on the panel.
Rich
There's,
Gaspari, me, and John Hanson. Yeah.
Wow.
John Hanson's like a historian, you know.
yeah. Yeah, he knows everything. That's
I don't
gonna
think
be-
you watched the segment, but John had a segment on last week, and it was Ed Connors and him talking about like the up and coming, like who he had as house guests, right? Ed's talking about the book he's writing and this and that, and he actually mentioned that he interviewed with us, and because John of course asked, well, who's the freakiest young bodybuilder ever? And of course he said Lee Priest, right? And he's like, I hate to admit that because there's been so many good ones, but Lee was at 20 years old was crazy.
Crazy.
And then he talked about how John Cena became pretty successful.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah. That's gonna be. When is it coming up?
I don't.
Sometime.
It's on Tuesday we do it, so I don't know when it will.
Okay.
launch.
Okay. Okay. So you haven't taped it yet. Okay. Cool.
No.
You'll post on social media, right? When it's up. I'm just following you.
Yeah, I did. I did Jose's YouTube. I did Rich Gaspari he does one with John Romano now.
Oh,
I
nice.
did one with him.
Oh, nice.
That launched out last week too, around the same time Jose's did. And we talked more about like the business stuff.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm starting to do a few more now. So a lot of people like off fitness YouTube or podcasts are reaching out to me. So I'm trying to do different branches, you know,
Nice.
instead of just being strictly in the bodybuilding.
Yeah, you're branching out. It's great. How was it with Jose? That must have been funny.
Yeah, we talked about about like, of course I talked about Massachusetts and not being known in Massachusetts, like having to branch out, and he talked about '09 and what I did different, same kind of thing. But we talked about like investments, like how I invested my money. And I always kind of laugh at these people that say, "Oh, I had a game plan from day one,"
You?
No, a lot of people say
Oh.
but I tell you as my friend, you've been around me for 17 years. I never planned to make money like that. Never mind, like even the bodybuilding side, like never mind that, just like in general, like taking money, investing it, and you have hit and misses, right? And I've lost on a lot of stuff too, but it's not you roll with it, right? But you were there for the bookings, like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you saw the money come through.
It's funny when you watch the earlier video. I remember watching you in a cut above,
yeah.
and you were like, "Wow, just be glad to have a decent car and a nice place to live, and a few bucks in the bank." That's how you used to talk, and you're like, "I'll be retired by 30."
It's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how when you look at my little trophy display at Aliso Viejo, do you remember it on that?
Yeah,
on that
but the
gray
computer
desk?
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now you look at this.
That's crazy. I wish I could take excerpts from the video just to drop it sometimes. I don't even know. Yeah, you had the DVD. I guess it was so great. Your house was nice, but it's just so modest, so small. And but you say a lot of time those were like really happy years for you when you didn't have much. And that's interesting.
That house I sold for $300, and I just looked what it's going for now, like around that area,
Yeah.
like $650.
Wow.
I mean, it's 20 years.
Yeah, it should be.
It's a long time.
Wow.
You would hope, right? You
Yeah.
would hope you increased.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's not even 25 grand a year, really.
Yeah.
It's like 10 grand a year, really, if you look at the big.
I've never been there to that place. I didn't know you then, so I never actually been to that condo. I think the first house I've been to was the one in Summerlin, the first one you made here. Yeah, that was a nice house. That one, I liked it.
Beautiful house.
One level, and it was great. Oh yeah, your party.
I paid $350 for that house.
Wow.
Maybe $330.
That was great. That was a great house. Did you have a pool? I don't remember.
Yeah.
You did,
I
right?
built it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was building the pool in the Olympia. That's why I didn't compete in the Olympia.
That's
There's
right.
a lot of like thoughts on why I didn't compete in '02. It wasn't that I was mad because I was battling the drug test the year before. It was more because I moved and I'm like, I don't need the money. Like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna fight for? Like, I didn't win, so like.
It was a transition period in your life.
I said, I'll just do the Arnold, and they'd given out the H2 Hummer that first year, remember?
Yeah.
They gave the H1, which I thought I was going for the H1 actually.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that's $100 grand plus the $100 grand plus the watch, right?
Only Ronnie got it.
Yep. So I'm like, I'll go for that Hummer. And then when they announced the H2, I was even more excited because I kind of was like, no one had the H2
That's
yet.
right.
And then Mark Downley from Flex bought it from me.
Yeah.
I remember showing up in San Juan Capistrano at the dealership, and they delivered the truck, bro, and it was black, and it had all the roof racks. It had every option you could get from Hummer. I loaded that truck. I remember going online, and Carrie and I built the truck. And I'm like, said to the woman from Hummer that basically was handing the Arnold Classic winners, because I think Mark Henry won that year too, the strongman portion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what can I put on it? She says, anything you want.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, okay, I'll get this. You know what I mean? Even if I didn't want it, I just loaded it. And
With more value.
Mark showed up there with me, and we signed the paperwork right to him.
Do you remember how much you sold
Never
it?
had it. 65 grand, I think.
Wow.
I think 65,000.
That's awesome.
And he kept it for a long time.
Yeah, add value. That's an Arnold, Arnold Classic champion thing. Damn. You did ride around the second one for a while. I remember you
The
drove
second
it.
one I customized it. I lowered it and put rims on it and stuff.
Yeah, you drove it for a while.
Yeah. And then I got the third one and I traded that one for my Mercedes, my convertible Mercedes, I think.
The black one?
No, I bought it from Siegfried and Roy.
Really?
Yes. It was like Siegfried's car. Yeah.
So you had Siegfried's car. What's the black Beamer?
And then I bought I traded Siegfried's car to get Gladys Knight's
Damn.
BMW.
I remember that, car, yeah. That's the cool thing about Vegas. You can always own someone's car that's like favorite. There's a ton of them living here, so that's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then I scaled up to the big boy cars. Do you remember how many cars I had in the garage?
Dude.
I had shit sideways in the garage because I couldn't fit anything.
Yeah.
If you watch back some of the old videos, you know, I had all those BMWs. Remember I had the black BMW, I had the 7 Series, I had the 6 Series, I had the Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah.
I had like 5, I think, and I had the twin turbo Porsche. I had all that stuff, and then I started dispersing, and I started buying Mercedes-Benz after that.
What's the best car you own so far? Your favorite one, if you had to choose one?
I mean, the Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
I've had 2, right? So this one is nice, the one I have now, but the Suburban is my favorite, dude. And you know what I love too is the Escalades.
Yeah.
You know what I like, the Lorenzo S-Class I had too. That was my
the gray one.
The gray one, which Larry still has.
The one we got re-rented.
Yes, that was probably because the Cayenne Turbo was pretty sick too. People didn't know what it was because it was custom.
It was new,
Damn, I had a lot of good cars.
I
The
know.
white Mercedes that I put in the SEMA show, that was nice. The Cayenne Porsche got a lot of attention though.
Yeah, with
I
the
bought from
wheels and
Enders,
everything. Yeah. I remember picking that one up.
Yeah, I bought that. I took over the lease I think I only leased it for like a year after Enders had it. He did it right though. He really knew how to do his cars.
Yes. He's a car guy. He changed cars every 3 months. Enders.
Yeah, and man, I had a Ford Escort, the Toyota Corolla in the beginning. I had a Jeep. My Jeep was one of my favorite cars. I had a Wrangler. I bought a Jeep Wrangler, I think I mentioned this before, for $5,000. I took a personal loan for it because I had no really credit. So I think my dad signed a personal loan for $5,000. My payment was $155 a month. And I kept that Jeep. I think I kept it for 2 years and I sold it for $5,000.
Wow.
And I drove it like crazy mileage.
So for free, you basically
For free.
all this
because
time.
I got such a good deal on it. The guy was so desperate to sell it at the time.
Wow.
I said, it was brand new, dude. It was like a 91 Jeep Wrangler, and I bought it in 92, I think.
Oh, wow.
So it was literally brand new.
Yeah, how much are these worth usually? A lot more.
Well, they hold value. That's what's a good thing about Jeeps. So that's why, like, now I look at cars. Like, I bought the Rolls used. I bought the G-Wagon used.
It's smarter because you do so much if you buy them.
Well, it depends if you lease it through the business or what I'm doing with it, right? But I like to buy it. Like, I bought the Suburban new because I got the no interest on it. But that's like, Angie talked me into buying the Suburban. She's like, you need a big, like a transport.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm telling you, it's a good truck. And I'm like, I don't know about a big Suburban. I always thought it was like a soccer mom's car.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
you like it now?
I like it, yeah.
Well, you got some things in the works. We're not going to tell people what it is, but we get some things in the works and we see much cooler cars in the future, you guys. We're working on some stuff. That'll be great. So it'll be good for you, I think. People will be excited.
Maybe give you something to do.
Hey,
we're gonna put you to duty.
Once I'm here, dude, I'll have more time. We'll have more time together. So that sounds like fun, We'll talk about it later. But yeah, you may see a lot more cooler cars coming on GTV soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. Like, you ever think about, my parents, like my dad always drove Ford Ranger pickups. I think he had like 10 Ford Rangers.
Really?
He had a blue one, he had a gold one, he had a white one. The town used to give him one. So it would have the symbol on the side and have a whip antenna on the
company
roof
car.
Yeah. And that's all I remember my dad driving was that. And he loved Ford Escorts. He bought like a bunch of Ford Escorts.
Really?
The standard.
Those were like teeny tiny cars, like
Yeah. I taught Carrie how to drive a stick in my driveway. You know that long ass driveway?
Yes. Yes.
So I taught her how to drive a standard right there.
Wow.
Think about it. That would be a great place to teach someone.
I
right?
know. Of course.
Like,
yeah. What's gonna happen?
I think my sister learned. My sister's a year older than me. Like,
who taught
that's
you?
all we had was stick shifts then.
Yeah, I remember back home. Yeah, back then it was a lot more common. Today, now you don't see that.
I was telling Angie's girlfriend, we sat here the other night and we had some drinks and whatever, and we were talking about like growing up and what it was like growing up in Massachusetts on the farm. And you've been there to my brother Keith's house with all the cows and stuff are. So, dude, we had no locks on our house. No locks. Like, so the doors didn't lock. You had to leave your keys in the car. My dad would lose his marbles if you did not leave your keys in the ignition.
Oh no!
Because if you needed to move a car
or
whatever, or
you have
take
to look
something,
you don't know who has the key. Yeah.
Any car you got into, the keys were in it.
Oh wow!
At all times. So whether we went off to work, came home.
Nobody stole anything ever?
No, dude. It was Sterling. Like,
wow.
6,000 people live in that
there's
town.
no
Everyone
thief in
knows
Sterling?
each other. No. This is before. I mean, back then, dude, you got caught drunk driving. Back then, the cops drove you home to your house.
Yeah.
Said, hey, don't do that. I mean, that's the way things were. People weren't suing each other for rear-ending each other. It was like, oh, sorry, how much is it going to cost to fix it, right?
Yeah.
We go to the local auto body. There's one guy. There's one mechanic.
I like that.
Mary had a little lamb town.
Yeah, I like
it's
that.
Very small. So we left our keys in the car, and that's why I sleep with a box fan. People always ask me with the box fans. You know those? You see them in my bedroom. I run 2 last night. I run 1 on each side. So it makes a lot of noise. So when these people come up with these new, this fan makes no noise. That's not what I want. I want a loud fan because that humming always made me sleep deeper because I couldn't hear anything. So if someone came home, a door slammed or whatever,
it's muffled.
It's muffled, and to be honest, I was always scared that someone was going to come in my house because we just didn't lock the doors.
Damn.
I mean, I remember one time my brother came in, Randall came in, and the cops were chasing him. He was always in trouble with the cops, and literally I woke up, I was sleeping, and I woke up and his face was like right here. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? He's like, they're after me. And I said, who? He goes, the cops. And I look out the window, I peeked out in front of, it's all field there.
Yeah.
Dude, there was flashlights everywhere.
Oh no.
The cops were chasing my brother because he was riding his ATV on the streets and everything, and they were chasing him.
Oh no.
So he was hiding in the house.
They didn't come inside the house.
No, dad, because my dad, he'd wake my dad up, and my dad would go out there, get the hell out of here. My dad was like, everyone was scared of my dad,
Yeah, he's got a temper. Yep.
I mean, we used to have those parties. My dad would come out and tell them to get the hell off the property, and there'd be 400 kids back there with a keg and everything,
I love Robert, man.
I remember I got called to school, like in the principal's office, and like, hey, we have this report of your dad giving alcohol at these parties. And my dad doesn't know anything that's going on. I said, my dad was so mad about it. He went up there and like reamed, like he was like, don't accuse me. These are my kids and da 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 da.
Also, he wasn't mad at you. He was mad at the school.
No, because like he didn't know what was going on. My dad would ask, hey, you guys drinking down there? No, Dad, no one's drinking. You know what I mean?
He believed you. Wow.
I wasn't like I was never a drinker really. Maybe a little bit my junior year, but I was managing the party. I would actually take keys at the front.
You were the host.
But what I didn't realize is a lot of people would have an extra set of keys. So they give me their keys and say, okay, I'll get them back later, and then they just leave with an extra set. Like, you don't think about that stuff.
Yeah.
I was 16, 17.
That's funny. It's like a movie, your life, dude.
Dude, there's so many stories, but
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. We're gonna go walk.
Yeah.
All right.